All right. We'll just start off. Good to be 1-0. Definitely would like to have played a little better, but I'm gonna give East Texas A&M a lot of credit. I told y'all Clint's doing it the right way, and I thought they played that way. Game ones, our game ones. There's a combination of game one, combination of playing a lot of new guys, and a combination of us not playing well. And in the first half, particularly offensively, that's what it was. Second half was better. Hard to tell. We didn't have the ball as much offensively. It was weird. The long drive, we picked six, then another long, But about the only thing I can say in the second half, I think we had 0 penalties, so that was an improvement from what we were doing in the first half. Defensively, kept them out of the end zone with our starters. Scored twice on defense. So played a lot of guys. You lost Jordan on the first play, lost Kilgore on his touchdown. A lot of guys got to get in and play, and that's a good thing because we're going to need them next week. And I told you guys on, I think it was Tuesday, we got a long way to go in a short time to get there, and that short time 6 days from now. So, we got to make a big jump from game one to game two. Yeah, I don't know the extent in terms of like how long they're out, if they'll be available this week or not. The positive, both of them had X-rays. Jordan on the elbow, Kilgore on the foot or the ankle, and the X-rays were negative, so that's positive. Other than that, I don't have any more info right now, but I know that was best case scenario, so that's good.
Frustrating, concerning is it when you lose two starters in the first game of the year?
Yeah, I mean, look, football's a game of adversity. It comes in different sizes. Last year we were down 11 with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter on the road in game one. So we found a way to win, and I think we left that game, and nobody thought we were going to be very good, and we played in the playoffs. So, it happened tonight. I hate it for Jordan because Jordan has been so good. I'm talking the way he's been practicing. We're sitting there going, man, we got Jordan and Romello and Kevin. Those guys are on the same page. And so I hate it for Jordan first, just because he's worked so hard to get himself in this position. And so now next man up. And next man happened to be a freshman. I thought Jalen Cooper did some good things, Carterius Brown. We got Isaiah Robertson and Link Rhodes in there late as well. So, those guys are going to have to be ready to roll depending on if Jordan is out and if so, for how long. The only thing I know is because it was negative, it shouldn't be season ending, I don't think, but I don't want to confirm that because I'm not a doctor. But hate it for him. Happy the other guys were able to step up and make some plays. Hate it for Kilgore. I mean, stinks to score a touchdown and get hurt, and that's kind of been the leader of our defense. So kind of lost the leader of our defense and another senior on the offensive side, and that's football. So just happened in week one, and we got to get ready. Next guy's up. What was something that surprised me? This is 18 years for me, and I've learned to not be surprised by anything in the first game. I mean, I'm dead serious. I would have liked to have played better in a lot of areas, but I don't know if I've ever left a first game and not felt that way. So, we celebrated the win in the locker room, and we're 1-0, and the reality of it is no matter how we'd have played, we couldn't get more than one win tonight. We got one. Lost some guys. I was proud of how the guys that had to come in as freshmen played. I really was. I mean, they're freshmen, and but I don't know. I don't know if any one thing surprised me, but that's just game ones.
What were your takeaways on the offensive line from what you could see without?
Yeah, we obviously ran the ball well early. And then we had a couple holding calls that killed some drives. And, some cases we don't need to hold. Some cases maybe we got bad luck. But we've got to be better, in terms of that because a holding call kills most drives. So we'll see. I mean, I need to look at the film. I mean, in real time, we want to run the football better than we did tonight. That's not all on the O-line. There's backs, tight ends, everybody involved, me. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, game one for them as a unit, it's weird when you get in a game. It's just totally different. So, I thought we settled in the second half. We only got like 3 drives, I think, in the second half offensively with Kevin in there. But we'll see. And, they say you make a big jump from game one to game two. We need to do that.
Touched on Jalen Cooper's performance.
Yeah.
What did you think of him, and is that a performance that maybe could build some trust to playing the bigger games?
Yeah, he's going to play next week, so it's a big game. Well, we knew with Jordan and Romello coming back and going to get an experienced guy like Ymir, and then it was good to see RJ, play. We intended to play him a little. We always intended not to play him a lot, but it was good to see him make 2 or 3 catches and, get tackled and get up. But we always knew these young guys are going to have to play. I mean, they were always going to play in this game, even if Jordan didn't get hurt, and they were always going to have to play next week. So it was good to see Jay Coop get in there and get a full game under his belt before next week, depending on Jordan's availability.
Coach, 3 plays in, 63-yard TD pass.
Yep.
Talk about how you drew that up. Was it executed to perfection? Is that how you
Yeah, I mean, we felt like that formation was going to get us a one-on-one, and felt good with the matchup. And like I said, Kevin and Romello have been good, so to execute that was great. The first 3 plays, other than Jordan getting hurt, went really well. And then we just were very inconsistent after that. But I think you see what Romello and Kevin can do in one-on-one situations.
Coach, before the season started, you talked about you wanted to see how this team handles adversity or maybe going down a touchdown. You never went down, but do you think in the certain spots where your team did face adversity, those moments could help you moving forward?
Oh yeah, they're going to help us. I mean, look, this was this was game 1 for this team. Like, this team has never played together till tonight. This was game 1, and so we were always going to learn a lot about ourselves. We were going to learn a lot about how we respond, good and bad. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of work to do in terms of not just the score or the cleanliness of how it looks, just coming together and playing together. And you can only do that by playing. So we have to play through that, and we have to find ways to keep winning as we do that. So, no, I was proud that we responded when maybe the offense wasn't playing well, or they would go on some long drives. We'd keep them out of the end zone on defense. We scored twice on defense. We responded. I think we had 8 penalties in the first half. Probably 4 or 5 were very legitimate. We've never had a kid flip in the end zone on a touchdown here. It's inexcusable. It's not what we do. We jumped off sides, I think, on the first drive on defense. And like I said, we had some holding penalties that hurt us. They cleaned that up in the second half. So hopefully that'll become the norm for this team. Yeah.
You mentioned the disappointment in losing Alex Kilgore, and that comes on the heels of the graduation of 2 guys who played
Yeah.
an awful lot of football
Yep.
for you. I know you haven't had a chance to watch it back yet, but did you get a sense, what did you think of Maizano and Booker and Barker and Medlock filling those roles?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they went in and played well, played hard. I mean, again, our one defense gave up 3 points. So, that's good no matter what. So those guys did a nice job. I think they did spit a few runs in the second half on us that I don't know why without watching it back. So, we felt like Brandon Booker's had a really good camp, young player that we feel like is going to be good, just like, Jalen Cooper and some of those other receivers. Time gets here quicker sometimes than you expect. Brandon Miazano's been here a long time. Mentally, he knows what to do. It was good to see him make some open field tackles. I thought having Barker here, we're going to need his leadership. So, we'll see. But it's good those guys got a lot of work tonight in case Kilgore's not available next week.
Are you finding it more common that you've seen some of this week 1, or has week 1 always kind of been like a mixed bag of all sorts of things for teams? Like, I don't know if you got time to watch much today.
Oh, I did. I mean, offensive football always takes longer than defensive football. I mean, you watched the Texas-Ohio State game today, and it was like 7-0 for 3 quarters. And that one touchdown was like clawing to get the touchdown. Like it was almost impossible to get it. So I don't know some of the other games. It's not an excuse. It just is what it is. So I don't know if I'm surprised. I did feel like we had a good week. I felt like we were in a good position. They did a nice – again, we come out and score, and then we're running the ball, but then we're going backwards, holding penalties, going backwards. And they're doing a nice job of starting to – after that first drive, they weren't going to let us run by them again. So 2 safeties, everybody back. And you have to efficiently execute the intermediate passing game, run the football, and you can't have, 2nd and 20s and those kind of things to do that. So those are the things that hopefully we'll get more efficient with. Yeah, I thought Kevin had one bad play in the night. It was an interception in the end zone, and it was also a really bad route. So it was a team effort on that by those two senior and Kevin's a junior. But we had a route that should have been a fairly automatic touchdown, and we need to run a little bit better route, and we need to throw the ball a little bit harder out in front, and we don't do either one, and it's interception. You don't expect that, from your starting quarterback and your senior wide receiver. Can't have that in the red zone. Other than that, he was 22 of 30. He loses one of his top two targets on the first play. So he's playing with a lot of guys that have never played college football. The sack fumble wasn't on him. We got beat on the inside and had a bust and got hit in the back. So, those are the two plays that people are going to stand out. Thought he was fine. We got to be better as a unit. So I have zero concerns about Kevin.
You talked during camp about the benefit Kevin has knowing that the job was his coming into this season. Wondering just what it was like in the days, the week leading up to the game, and what interaction you had with him to get him ready, just nerves-wise or anything like that after having played 9-10 games.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin had any nerves at all. More than a lot of people get anxious for a game, but if you're prepared, you're never nervous. So I thought our guys were excited to play. They were ready to play. Sometimes, that can work against you a little bit, but we started pretty fast. We prepared like we always do. That's the one thing we do. We're going to do what we do, and we're going to be consistent in how we prepare. And when we play good, we're going to come back and do the same thing. When we play poor, we're going to come back and do the same thing. Now, we got to have just as much urgency when we win and play well as we do when we win, don't play well, or maybe don't win. So, but we prepared the same way. I didn't tell Kevin anything special. He's been here now for 3 years, so thought he was ready to go, and he'll be ready to go every week. Before we move on, I just want to acknowledge, I think we had a record student attendance. That's awesome. Our students have been fantastic over the last 3 years. I think 2 years ago we set the season record. Last year we broke that record, and today we set a single game record. So just cannot thank our fans enough. It was a great crowd with all the rain early in the day. I'm sure that didn't make the Boulevard any more fun than it normally is. Fans were great. We're going to need that home field advantage next Saturday at 11 a.m., and we're going to need that students. I think whatever the record was, let's break it next week again, and we're going to need that crowd there. Our guys will be ready to play, and we need to get a win in Reverse Boulevard and have a good Saturday. So appreciate it.
It was mediocre. We didn't play to our best. I think we all know that. But got the dub. I think that's what really matters, honestly. So move on to next week, and game plan for Baylor and see how that go next week.
Got to see the first look at some of those freshman receivers in game. How important are those guys going to be for the team's success?
Yeah, they're gonna be really important. We saw J Hud go down today. And it's their responsibility to come in, and my responsibility as well to make sure they're ready. Come in next week and ball out, and it's the rest of the season, honestly. So they did pretty good today. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do this upcoming week.
How difficult is that when you lose Jordan on the first play of the game, and
Yeah.
you see that can't be had, and outside stress without him?
Yeah, it's very difficult. We never want to see nothing like that happen to one of my top receivers. But next man up, the freshmen, I think they're ready. They've been balling each and every practice at fall camp, and I think they're ready to go. And Jay Hud's going to be coaching them up, preparing them for next week, and yeah, just got to move on from that.
How reassuring is it to see R.J. Maryland back out there?
Mhm.
What do you think of his performance?
Yeah, it's really good. I think he balled out today. He made some people miss a couple targets today. Made them count, and I'm excited to play with one of my best friends. Yeah.
You were pretty efficient. You had 2 big plays, 2 big passes. What about your game do you think was weak? Where do you think
Yeah, I just honestly the turnover in red zone. I think I can definitely improve on that. Drill the ball in there instead of lofting it like that, giving the DB a chance to make a play. But stuff happens, and I think I know what I can do at my best, and I know that wasn't my best right there. So I know this upcoming week, we'll see it for sure.
There's new offenses or new parts on the offensive line.
Right.
Obviously, you haven't had a chance to go back and watch it yet, but what did you think of their performance specifically with Addison and Josh up in front of you?
Yeah, I think they did really good. it's the first game. First game jitters. Got to let those out. You know, it's gonna be rough at some times. I think you know, they did really good for me, and I trust them 100%. Honestly, with my life up there. So you know, I'm excited for next week. I know the guys gonna ball out, and you know, they're gonna dominate, look in the film room, and fix the mistakes and all of that. So I'm excited for it.
Coach Lashley talked about the team facing some moments of adversity in this week's game. How do you feel like this new team handled those moments?
Yeah, I think we handled it really good. You know, I think stuff's gonna happen. You know, every year the first game, you know, stuff goes wrong, and you know, it's our first time playing a different team, so things are gonna go wrong. But I think we bounced back from it. You know, came back the second half, executed key plays and all of that, and yeah, I think we executed pretty good after the mistakes.
What do you think of the running back rotation? BJ and Chris and obviously Derek.
Yeah, those guys are great. You know, we honestly got four backs that can get the ball and go toe in, make a play happen. You know, you saw CJ with the touchdown. Derek McFall has some good runs. TJ running people over left and right. So, you know, I'm excited for that group right there. You know, they're really special, and yeah, for sure, I'm excited for them.
On the play there.
Just knowing, I think it was 2x2 or it was a motion. I'm not too sure, but I know that he put me in. He had me. Coach Simons, he caught a good call. So I was basically all I had to do was watch my side of the field. But as soon as I saw the slot go out, I knew he was gonna whip back in. So as soon as I saw his hip turn back in, I just broke on it. The QB threw it right to me.
Did you know when you caught it that you had a chance to take it all the way?
Oh yes, most definitely. I got to beat the quarterback, and I knew the wide receiver number 3. I knew he had some speed on him. So as I'm looking at the quarterback, I'm like peeking back, make sure he don't got a good angle on me. So I just kept running to the sideline to make his his angle harder.
Conversely, Romello, you had a big play as well for yourself. You got the fireworks going early. What'd you see on that play?
We just preparation. Every day in practice. We wrapped it. And it just I seen it one on one. Kind of lit up for me. Haven't been out there in a while. And Cav gave me a great ball, great release. And I just executed.
What you see from Jalen that night, just his first college getting into
We kind of told the freshmen all year long, people get injured, things happen, you whenever your numbers get called, just be ready, be prepared for the moment. And today his number was called, and he was prepared for the moment, and he showed up tonight. And I'm gonna have his back 100% throughout this year, so that's good.
You and Jordan have been leading the receivers through spring and through preseason camp. And then when he gets hurt tonight and you've still got 59 minutes to go, how do you regroup as a position group, and what did that do to your job when he was no longer on the other side?
Really, not him just being there, having to take up for both of us, feeling for both of us, while he not there. That was the biggest part. But like I said, things happen. He's in great spirit. He's attacking therapy right now, and whatever he had to do to get back on that field, and we're just gonna be with him 100%. Whenever it's his time to get back out there, we're gonna be ready to roll.
The defense was able to keep East Texas A&M off the board on 3 different red zone trips. What did you think about the defense's mentality and that sort of bend don't break?
It's really just I was saying them a lot. Like every time we was getting in the red zone, I was like, just bow down, bow down, bow down. But just knowing that, like, just even when there's an explosive play, something like that, we always just tell each other, like, whenever there's explosive play, get the person down, because you never know what could happen the next play. So it was a lot of times that they would get explosive play, they'll get another play after that. But like whenever it come to goal line, we knew that if we trusted our the guys next to us and trusted that he was gonna do his job and I was gonna do my job and whoever else was on the field was gonna do their job, we knew that together we could end up making a stop, and we did it a few times today.
I'm curious your thoughts on the defense as a whole. Like you said, good job in the red zone, but just in general, like a lot of yards given up.
Mhm.
What did you think for some things else?
We are a new group, so just doing things like not even like involving football, just about building our bond, being stronger together. Like we've been doing that, but we're still trying to work on that because it's gonna be a long season. So we're hoping that right now the mistakes we're making today, the mistakes we're making in practice, we're hoping and we're knowing that as long as we keep working together, that down the line when it's week 6, week 7, there's none mental mistakes gonna happen. So it was a tough win. We did some good things, but we also did a few bad things. But we're gonna get into the meetings on Monday, all that. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying, keep building our bond and just keep knowing that like as long as we play, because we got the talent. So as long as we play, give a full effort and do our job, good things gonna happen for us.
With this game behind you, now that Baylor's here,
Mhm.
I mean, massive, game for the most
Yeah.
part. Is that a type of game matchup that can bring a team closer?
Most definitely, we treat everybody the same. So we treated Texas A&M, East Texas A&M, just like how we treated Baylor. But we know that they're coming in our house, knowing that it's not a rivalry, but like it's a Texas matchup. So we knowing that they might pull a few strings, we're gonna pull a few strings. But just knowing that, like I said, just making sure we got everybody got each other's back. We just gonna keep going forward, and we just know that as long as we do what we gotta do, then you know what I'm saying, something special gonna happen.
Remember, coach mentioned that he never had a player front with. Have you done that before, and did he say anything to you after?
Yeah, that's just not the standard. You know, I was very excited, just to be back out there. But yeah, that's not the standard. We're gonna build on that. It won't happen again. Cause I got a flag for it, so it just won't happen again. And we're gonna build off of that, and we're gonna play football the next time go around.
I mean, obviously you got back in the postseason and things like that last year, but to get to this game, you got this whole season ahead of you. What did it mean to get that moment right off the bat?
Really, just to seize the moment for the rest of the year. Just to solidify my name and just shows who I am and show what I can do. Just like Amal said, we're going to treat every team just like they's a household name. Whoever steps foot in our house, we're going to attack with everything we got and with our best foot forward, and that's how we're going to go.
Anything else? I got one for
Got you.
Defense had 3 sacks, 6 tackles for a loss.
Mhm.
Pick six. You touched on the defense, but can you talk about being opportunistic and scoring points on that side of the ball?
Yeah, so it's like we always, we're a full team, so we always try to have that mindset that's like, if offense is moving slow, we're gonna have their back. If we're like letting up touchdowns, they're gonna keep scoring. Like even back, I remember it was my freshman year, we played Houston. We let them score 63 points on us. Offense went back and scored 77. So it's like just knowing that there's gonna be games or one side is like not performing up to our standard. Just knowing that all right, we're gonna have your back. We're gonna y'all not 3 and out. Okay, we're gonna go get a turnover for y'all. So just knowing that regardless of the outcome, as long as we play knowing that we're gonna play for them, they're playing for us. It's like no matter what happens, we should always everything is gonna work out in our favor.
Facts.